Hi guys, welcome in to my talk today, Thursday's talks here with Uma. Welcome. So I was actually supposed to have this talk yesterday. I apologize to those of you that showed up for this talk. I did have an emergency and I had to handle that. So I rescheduled it for today and hopefully you guys are back. And if not, don't worry, I am recording this so I can send it to you. Today's talk is Beyond the Veil, Understanding Evidential Mediumship. And we're going to talk about the profound insights that I have gleaned as an evidential medium and the world of evidential mediumship and its role with connecting us with the spirit realm. A medium is someone who connects to the other side. They are able to communicate with the other side. Now, some mediums can connect with your deceased loved ones. Some mediums connect with ancestors, spirit guides. Some mediums connect with angels, archangels, ascended masters, right? There are different levels of mediums. And mediums act as a bridge between the physical and the spiritual world. We are here to offer validation that life exists beyond this planet. And sometimes we bring through messages from loved ones who have passed on. Other times we bring through guidance from your team, such as your spirit guides, your ancestors. And sometimes we channel messages from elevated beings like angels and ascended masters. There's a lot of debate in the mediumship community about what it is to be a medium, how you can become a medium, what you have to do to become a medium. And I am going to share what I have learned through my esteemed teachers and also what I have discovered on my own from my own journey into mediumship. So just to let you guys know a little bit about my background, I was trained in classical evidential mediumship. I went to the Arthur Findlay College of Mediumship Sciences back in the day. I used to go there once a year for 4 years. And I learned from some really great teachers that I'm going to mention. Mavis Patilla, Janet Nohavik, John Holland, Colin Bates, Eileen Davies, Matthew Smith. There was many other teachers, but those were like the main teachers that really impacted me with the world of mediumship. And as much as I learned from them, I also learned myself from doing the sessions, giving the readings, and also teaching classes, because after years of study, I myself became an evidential medium, and I started to train other mediums as well. And the biggest thing I want to say is there's a difference in the kinds of mediums that are out there. As much as I'm a trained evidential mediumship, I actually prefer to call myself a spiritual medium because I like to just connect into the other side and see who's there and have a conversation. And it's a very relaxed way of mediumship. There's no outline to follow. It's more based on flow than on steps. And it's just, I found after doing the different types of training that this is the kind of mediumship I like to present to the world as my offering. And being a spiritual medium, it just feels more relaxed for me, you know? So that's who I am. So what do I want to tell you about mediumship? Okay. It is said in the mediumship community that everyone is psychic, but not everyone's a medium. And they even say that all mediums are psychic, not all psychics are medium, meaning that everyone has psychic abilities. If you understand that you have your senses, your physical senses, taste, touch, smell, sight, sound, then you also have psychic senses to those physical senses, your spiritual senses. So everyone has that. But you really don't use it unless you train and do developmental exercises, because your psychic senses are like muscles. So just like how you have your biceps and triceps, they can be out of commission, right? Flabby, weak, flaccid, unless you go and work them out. And you can't just go to the gym and work out your arms one day and have this turnaround of energy, right? You have to go for a period of time, consistently, and consistently show up to do the work. Well, that's the same thing with your psychic senses. You have to consistently use them. I use the gym analogy a lot because it's so helpful. You can lose weight on your own, right? You can go to the gym, you can watch what you eat, and it's a process, but you can do it. Let's say it takes you a year to lose the weight on your own, trial and error. Or you can hire a personal trainer and they might get that weight off in 3 months because they have a definite plan of attack. They have a strategy. They've been here before. They've worked with people like you before. They may even understand your body a little bit better than you understanding your body. So they can give you good, solid advice to help you. And that's the role of a mentor when you get a mediumship mentor. They're not supposed to shame you, look down on you, make fun of you. They're supposed to be the support system that helps explain things as you're developing. So you can get there not only faster, but with more knowledge than you trying to get there on your own. So I don't knock people who are natural mediums, who've kind of trained themselves. I know you did a lot of work to get where you are and to build the confidence you have to give readings. So kudos to you. But if you ever did seek a mentor, I wouldn't be mad at it, because I went the route of having mentors and it helped me tremendously. I am so confident in my abilities and what I do. And I have so much ease and peace of mind and closure about my irrational fears or doubts or insecurities. And that's all thanks to my mentors. So everyone has psychic senses, but not everyone's a medium. How do we determine the mediums? Well, it's again split in the community. Some people say that you have to be born a medium. It's passed down from generation to generation. And other people say that you can develop your mediumship skills through working it out, right? Training. And I have to say, I've met both kinds of mediums in my lifetime. I myself am what they call a natural medium. I have been communicating with the other side since birth or since a young child. And I have peers that I have worked with throughout the ages that developed their mediumship skills. They came into it in their 30s or 40s, right? And I don't think either community is better than the other. I had a teacher, a mediumship teacher that I used to collaborate with, Carlos, and we would teach from that point of view, that I was a natural medium. I've always had my abilities, and he was a developed medium coming into his abilities in his 30s. And no one can tell me Carlos is not a great medium, right? He's amazing. He's exceptional at it. And no one can tell him I'm a bad medium because he knows I'm exceptional at what I do. So I am not too concerned if someone comes to me and they want to train or develop their skills, and then they tell me, oh, but I wasn't born a medium, or I didn't have these things when I was little. That's okay with me. I'm fine with that. The thing is, if you know you're a medium or you feel like you have medium mediumistic abilities and you want training and you want to develop it, the biggest thing you have to understand is you first have to do your shadow work to erase whatever irrational fears, insecurities, worries, concerns that you have. We live on this earth plane that operates by natural laws. And the law of attraction is based off of the law of vibration, which literally says that you attract to you what you are. If you come into mediumship and you have fear, or you're worried about irrational things like ghosts or, I don't know, ghouls or entities or negative spirits or whatever, then you're going to create that experience for yourself, right? You have to come into mediumship with a spirit of love, kindness, and a deep desire to serve, to be of service. Because when you can have that deep desire of, I want to serve the community, I want to bring healing and closure and comfort to those that are grieving the loss of their loved ones, right? Then the universe works in your favor. It starts to bring people to you and also builds you up to be that kind of medium. But you can't get there from here, right? You can't be that kind of medium if you're fearful of the unknown or what's on the other side or believe all these ghost stories. So when my students come to me and they want to do psychic mediumship development with me, I tend to interview them. I know that sounds weird, right? That a teacher is interviewing their students, but I do, because I've been teaching mediumship and psychic abilities for over 10 years, and I have seen a lot of things. And some of the things I've seen is of the darker nature. People with mental health issues, people that take it like to the next level in terms of darkness or negativity. And it doesn't have to be anything like that, you know? So when I have a student presenting to me that wants to work with me to learn about using their psychic or mediumship abilities, if they have any hint of fears, insecurities, worries, anxieties, I put them first in my soul alignment coaching program. Some people just need a month, some people 3 months, some people 6 months. And we go through that process before we go into the psychic mediumship development. Because you really do have to have a clear sense of who you are, what you're doing, what you're creating, so that you can have a good experience as a medium. I have great stories. In fact, I have so many great stories that I wrote a book about them called Chronicles of a Spirit Walker that became an Amazon best-selling book, because I shared about some of the wonderful stories I've had in my journey with mediumship. And that's what I hope for those of you that are interested in developing your abilities, is to become an exceptional medium. You got to understand yourself first. You have to be willing to let go of your fear-based ideas. And you have to have a deep desire to want to serve others. So if you're thinking about doing this for the money, good luck. You know, most of the events that I do with mediumship tend to be free or on donations or at a low cost. And it's more the satisfaction you get out of helping people who otherwise would be having a really hard time to just get by. You know? So what should you do if you suspect that you are a medium or you have mediumistic abilities? Well, there's two things, right? You can do something about it if you want to, or you could ignore it. You absolutely, I know so many people that are mediums that are not on this path. They're not doing anything with their mediumship abilities. They might have their personal experiences with tapping in from spirit on the other side, but that's about it. Nothing else. But if you do have a desire to use it, I do recommend you get yourself a mentor, a really good one. And as you could see from my history, I didn't have one mentor, I had several. I jumped around. In the end, eventually I had one mentor, and that was Mavis Patilla. I studied with her the longest, 3 years. I studied with Mavis. And I liked her style of teaching, and I liked the way that she communicated with spirit, because it was very much similar to the way I communicate with spirit, right? So I stayed with her the longest before branching out on my own. And the best thing you can do for yourself is to get yourself a mentor. Jump around, take some classes, if you have good mentors in your area, they're offering free events or small classes, and then eventually you can warm up to the bigger mentorship program. Like I myself, right? I once a month hold a mediumship development circle at my center, the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center in Manassas, Virginia. Once a month we hold a development circle where the students sit and work on their spiritual bonds to their spirit team. And then we also have the mediumship demonstration night where myself and my students give mediumship readings, connecting people with their loved ones on the other side, and giving a demonstration of what a mediumship session is. So both of those events that I do are free or by donation. And then after that, I have a mini course, which is my 2-month course that starts in January, called the Sacred Lotus Self-Exploration Program. That is more to work on your psychic abilities and kind of like gently, right? Get your feet in the water so you can try to see what this is about. And then after that, typically a student will want to move on further with me in the psychic mediumship development realm. You might be wondering, why do I offer psychic and mediumship together? They go hand in hand. They do. And when you become a really advanced medium, you would have the ability to know how you do a reading. And usually it involves both. So for me, I'm the kind of medium that goes right in. I don't need to do a psychic reading for a connection. I don't need to listen to your name or hold your hand or hold an object, right? I can just tap into your energy and feel the presence of people around you. And then one of those people around you will usually catch my attention. And I'll start to describe this person to you. And the more I describe them and the more you're in agreement with who this is, that person becomes more pronounced to me. So at first it's kind of like shadows or energy around you, but the more we talk and have a conversation and you recognize who this person is, they become almost like a human being in front of me. And I'm able to have like a full conversation with them. Right? And in a mediumship reading with me, I've brought through anywhere between 2 to 6 people. Sometimes the mediumship sessions are hard and I'm struggling and I can bring through 2 people. But sometimes, the person seeking me for a reading is so open and their heart is just open and they have a strong connection to that person on the other side. And it's just easy. It's like, oh, and your aunt is here and your grandma and here's your dad and here's your cousin. Like it just flows so easily. That's another note I want to say to those of you that are developing mediums. Don't automatically assume the connection is off because of you. It could be. Or it could be the person getting the reading from you may not fully trust you or have a little bit of a problem connecting to you or opening their energy to you. So I just wanted to say that because I feel sometimes mediums, they judge themselves so harshly. And I just want to let you know, it's not all entirely your fault. It's none of it's your fault, unless you really are that person that has no training, no development, you're just going out there giving readings, then that's your fault, right? But for those of you that are doing the work, you're having a mentor, you're training, you're developing, you're learning, you're processing, you're growing. If you have a hard session, sometimes it may not be you. It may be the person that you're reading for. I love doing mediumship. And I struggled with it for a long time because, like, even now, in this quiet of this house, no one's here but me, talking to you guys, I can feel myself wanting to slip in and just give a message to someone who's listening, because it's just, when you're a medium, and you pick up on energy and the presence of beings everywhere you go. And a lot of times when you guys see me closing my eyes when I'm doing these talks, I'm getting ready to go into a trance. It's like the pull on me is so... It's like I can't avoid it. I forget the words, It's addictive. I just want to do it. I just want to close my eyes and go in and do it. And I think I will. At the end of this talk, I will bring through a message for someone who's listening, and they can let me know by email or whatnot. Uma, that message was for me. I heard it. Thank you. That's usually how it goes. So I know there's some people watching live. You're welcome to ask me questions about mediumship, but I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about what mediumship is. It is connecting with the people on the other side. Another big thing too that I want to tell you is sometimes people come to me because they want to connect to their mother, because when their mother was alive, it was their best friend, and now that she's passed on, they feel lost. So sometimes people come to me and say something like, Uma, I want to connect with my mother. I need her advice on stuff. And this is where mediums need to educate the public, because they don't know. You see, a client coming to me only knows that when her mother was alive, she was her best friend and her confidant, and she helped her. But she doesn't know that now on the other side, the mother can't do that for her, right? We have other people for that. We have the spirit guides, or your ancestors, or ascended masters, or sometimes spirit might even say, you got to do the work. This is up to you to do now. So I feel like as mediums, we don't only just give the readings, but we also have to be teachers and coaches, and we have to explain how the process of mediumship works. So for me personally, when someone books me for a mediumship reading, I let them know upfront what they can expect. Either I'm talking to them on the phone, or I'm typing them in an email and I'm letting them know, listen, we're going to have a 30-minute session together. In the beginning, it's going to be really quiet when I just close my eyes and I tune in to see who's around you. I'm going to bring you evidence of people. All you have to do is say yes or no. Don't feed me. Don't add on things. Don't give me things to build on. I am a professional medium. I can do this, all right? I just need you to tell me, yes, you're on the right track, Uma, or no, that's not it. So I can figure it out for myself. And after I give you the evidence of the person, if they have a message for you, they'll give you a message. But I want you to know that these people are not your spirit guides. They don't know about your path, your purpose, where you're going, where you're heading, what's coming. They don't know anything like that. You can either connect to a spirit guide for that kind of information, or you can get a psychic reading with me. All of this, guys, is what I tell somebody trying to book me for a mediumship reading. And then I also let them know, if in the reading you don't get through to the person you want to connect with, I can end the reading with a psychic reading, so not all of your time was gone in vain, right? Because remember, as a medium, I can't control who's coming over. If somebody wants to talk to their dad, I can't command their dad to come through and to talk to them. I can put the request out, but he has to accept the request and come through. So for me, if a client books me for a 30-minute session and they don't get their dad and they don't get anybody else coming through, an uncle, an auntie, a friend, then I offer to give them like a psychic reading instead so their time isn't wasted. But that's up to you. If you're a developing medium, a professional medium, that is up to you to do how you want to do that. But I do all of this prep work because I don't want people to have expectations coming in and then the expectations aren't met, you know? So that's why I do the way I do. But that's it, you know? Evidential mediumship. You should try it out. And if you do live in Virginia or you can get to Virginia, we do have an upcoming mediumship development circle at 8 p.m. this Friday night, Friday, November 15th. And then we have the demonstration at 9 p.m. right after the mediumship development circle at 8 p.m. You're more than welcome to reach out to me to get the details to RSVP, or you can wait until December. We already put it up. It's going to be Friday the 13th in December for the next one, the mediumship development circle and the platform demonstration as well. I hope that my talk brought you some clarity about what mediums do. I haven't even begun to touch the majority of the work that we do, but I think this is a good start for us to get the ball rolling on this conversation. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. And I always welcome your thoughts, your comments, your questions on this video or through email, right? My email is info@thelotusandthelight.com. info@thelotusandthelight.com. And if anyone wants to just reach out to me to find out if this would be a good fit for them to study with me as a spiritual mentor, psychic mediumship mentor, you can book a free call with me. It's bit.ly/Uma Discovery Call, and it's running at the bottom of this video. bit.ly/Uma Discovery Call. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to working with you in the future at some point.